It's another exciting week of sports, and there has been a lot of debate going on social media that Benn would have defeated Chris Eubank Jr. like Liam Smith did. I beg to differ, and these are the three categories or three statements I want to make in order to buttress my point: size, experience, and style. Yes, the argument has been that if Chris Eubank Jr. is able to come to 157, that means he would have drained a lot of fluids out of his body that would make him weak, in which Benn would have gained a lot of muscles that would make him strong and would be able to defeat Chris Eubank Jr. Yes, that is very true and it's all true. But before I expatiate on my points, please remember to subscribe to Africa's first choice online sports portal. First, let me use the fighting style of Liam Smith and Conor Benn. It is nowhere the same. Conor is an aggressive fighter, whilst Liam is a pressure fighter. There is a difference. Conor Benn relies on his speed and his youthfulness to execute his things very fast in combination. But Liam Smith is a patient fighter, but applies pressure, makes sure control the tempo, and make sure he works his way inside and works on the body of his opponent. And those styles are not the same. Conor Benn sometimes boxes and he boxes, uses his jab and before he lands his combination, whilst Liam Smith doubles on his jab, comes inside and throw a lot of combination to the body and to the head. So these are two different styles. So as we say in boxing, styles make fight. Now let me go to my next point, that is experience. The experience gap between Conor Benn and Liam Smith is way big. 15 fights difference. That is not an easy gap to close. Conor Benn has 21 fights, whilst Liam Smith has 36 fights. So look at the vast experience limit. Besides, Liam has been a former world champion. He was the former WBO junior middleweight champion, which he lost the belt to Saul Canelo Alvarez. He went 11 rounds with Saul Canelo Alvarez. That is rich experience gain. Conor Benn has just been in the ring with the likes of Samuel Vargas, Chris Algieri, Cedric. Cedric even ended up knocking him down. Cedric, who has about 7 losses on his record, who is not a top level operator, has been able to knock Conor Benn down twice. That means that there is a chin problem with Conor Benn. Since then, he has not really been tested because he has not stepped up in opposition. Though I don't agree that Chris Eubank Jr. is a world-class fighter. He is a world-level contender. He is at a contender level because he hasn't fought or dominated a world-class fighter before. I can't put him in the world-class category. He has shown potentials of being a world contender. That is what Chris Eubank is, and that is the level at which Conor Benn is too. They are both not world-class fighters, but if I should take one, I would take Chris Eubank Jr. because he has done more than Conor Benn. Though I think he could have done much better than he has done in his career. So the vast experience between Liam Smith and Conor Benn is vast, and Liam Smith used his experience over the years. Conor Benn, though his dad Nigel, I don't think if my memory serves me right, he started boxing quite late. Unlike Liam Smith, who comes from a heritage of boxing, who sleeps and lives boxing throughout. Yes, all his 4 brothers are boxers, so this is a guy who has been in the gym all these while and knows boxing very well. Now, the third is the size. Now let me move on to size. The size difference between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn is bigger than Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith. If you put on a lot of weight, you would become slower, and Chris would maybe end up boxing him on the back foot. Let's remember, Chris is very good when he is boxing on the back foot, so we shouldn't make a mistake and say as if Chris uses the ring or the gap between he and Conor to his advantage, Benn is not a dynamic fighter, and it will be difficult to make an adjustment. So it is not cast in stone that Benn would have defeated Chris Eubank Jr. I think it would have been a good fight, a fight in which I wasn't really hyped up for, but I would have watched anyway. But it is not cast in stone that Benn would have defeated Chris Eubank Jr. in the same manner. But I think if the fight still happens at 160, as they are now talking about, I still think Chris Eubank Jr. beats Benn just based on experience. Thank you for watching. Stay positive. Remember, there is no limit to greatness. Au revoir.